I am white and Native American. My daughter's dad is Puerto Rican and Native American. My hair is straight and blonde, while my ex's hair is black, coarse and frizzy poofy. My daughter has a mixture of both our hair types. When her hair is longer, it becomes straighter and super easy to style. However, when it's short, it's nearly impossible to brush through, let alone style. I've always had long hair, but her dad and grandmother believe long hair is ugly. There was even a time years ago when my ex's mum insisted on cutting off my dead ends and informed me that she wouldn't cut it short, it was down to my butt. She ended up chopping it right below my shoulders and said, "Oh, that's so much better." I expressed my dissatisfaction with the new hairstyle and vowed to never let her touch my hair again. Needless to say, my ex and I broke up shortly after. For years, my daughter would go for visits and come back with her hair chopped off. If I made any comments about it, I would be met with, "She's my kid too, you aren't the boss. What happens at my house is none of your business. You don't make the rules." However, 2 years ago, my daughter started telling them that she wanted to grow her hair out because she couldn't style her short hair without my help. We both became frustrated and short-tempered because we had to wake up 1 to 2 hours earlier every morning just to brush through her hair and style it to make her feel secure at school. During that time, they respected her wishes and didn't touch her hair. But a month ago, her grandmother and dad started complaining about her hair again. I made it clear to them not to touch her hair without her permission because I now have a newborn at home and can't spend 1 to 2 hours every morning styling her hair. Well, they convinced my daughter to cut her hair this past weekend, and now she is in my room at 5:30 a.m. asking for my help with her hair while I'm nursing my newborn. I told her no because I had just started feeding the baby. She immediately became upset and said, "My grandmother said you should be taking time to do my hair and that you have 2 kids, not 1. I texted the grandmother and asked what she said to my child, and she replied, "As a mum, you need to prioritize both kids, not just the baby. Do your daughter's hair." I did not style my kid's hair, and now she is blaming me for feeling insecure at school. Edit to add, she informed me that she had given her grandmother permission to cut her hair. However, she cannot style it herself, not even brush through it alone. She has tried. It takes me 1 to 2 hours to brush and style it. She has been to salons and I have spent hundreds of dollars on products that only temporarily mask the issue. The bottom line is that she cannot manage her short hair without my help, and I currently do not have the time or energy to spend 1 to 2 hours every morning styling her hair, especially after being up all night with a baby. Her grandmother and her dad were all aware of this because I explicitly told them, before they cut my child's hair, that I did not have time to style it in the morning. It was either a power move or an attempt to turn my child against me, which is why her grandmother made a point of telling her that I have 2 kids, not 1, and should prioritize doing her hair. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Her hair probably needs oil and massive amounts of conditioner. Not all of us have hair that is easy to dry brush. I only brush mine when it's wet and full of conditioner. She needs help and she's a child, so for that you're the idiot. It does sound like you are clueless in understanding her hair. You might look at the curly girl method. Comment 2. Maybe you need to see a hairstylist who has expertise in that kind of hair, who maybe has that kind of hair themselves. And it sounds that you and your daughter have to start to accept and embrace her natural hair, not trying to treat and try to make it look like white people's hair. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. Your daughter is 12. Time for her to start doing her own hair. It seems like you and your ex's mum are using your daughter as a way to continue a fight that she should be left out of. Now, for the update. Trying to navigate a co-parenting situation that's become increasingly toxic has taken a toll on both me and my little girl. Despite my pleas, my daughter's hair was cropped even shorter by her grandmother during a weekend visit. It's now at a length where it sticks up in all directions, and my daughter's self-esteem has plummeted. She comes home from school in tears, telling me that other kids have been teasing her, calling her names like porcupine. It's heartbreaking. To make matters worse, the stress of the situation led to a severe mastitis infection for me, which meant I was out of commission for over a week, barely able to move, let alone style hair. My daughter had to go to school with her hair looking messier than ever, which only increased the taunting. It's like a vicious cycle. The more her hair is a problem, the more she's teased, and the more her dad and his mom insist on keeping it short, thinking it will solve the issue. I've tried to reach out to my ex about the bullying, but it's like talking to a brick wall. He says I'm exaggerating and that kids will be kids. His mother is no better, accusing me of not looking after our daughter properly because I can't keep up with her hair care needs on top of caring for a newborn. The final straw came when my daughter's teacher called me to express concern. She's noticed the change in my daughter's demeanour and asked if there was trouble at home. I explained as much as I could without placing all the blame squarely on their shoulders, but the teacher suggested that perhaps a counsellor could help my daughter cope with her feelings. I never thought that hair, of all things, could cause so much pain and division in our family. I'm at my wit's end trying to protect my daughter's well-being while also dealing with my own health issues and the demands of a new baby. It feels like a losing battle, and the most painful part is seeing the light dim in my daughter's eyes as she struggles to find her place in a world that just seems to keep on judging her. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your ex and their mother are the ones at fault here. They should never have altered your daughter's hair without consent. It's a major boundary violation. Your health issues are a legitimate reason for not being able to style her hair. The important thing is, you're trying to address the emotional impact on your daughter by considering counselling, which shows your dedication as a parent. Hang in there. Comment 2. You're the idiot for not stepping up sooner. Health issues aside, your daughter needed you to fight for her self-esteem, and you've let her down by not finding alternative solutions for her hair care. It's not just about hair, it's about her feeling supported and protected by her parent. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You've been dealing with so much and still putting your daughter's emotional well-being first by seeking help from her teacher and considering counselling. The ex's lack of cooperation is making a tough situation harder. It's clear you're doing your best under difficult circumstances. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing what you can to support your daughter through this. Now, for the next story. My niece, 25-year-old female, came to live with me. 55-year-old male, because her living arrangements back home were chaotic. She's doing well now. No drugs, has a steady job, and even recently bought her first car and is thinking about going back to school. Well, last week she tells me she's pregnant. After congratulating her and listening to her excitement, I had to break it to her that I cannot and will not live with a newborn. I just cannot deal with what it entails to bring up a newborn child at this point in my life. I have a physically demanding job and value my rest, peace and quiet. I'm an old guy, I can barely tolerate her loudness, lol. We joke about her loud voice and clomping down the stairs while I'm resting. I suggest moving in with her boyfriend of 2 years. She obviously did not take it very well and called me an AH. So am I the AH? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot, it was irresponsible for her to get pregnant if she's not able to take care of her baby. This is her boyfriend's problem, not yours. Why doesn't she want to move in with the father of her child? Comment 2. Not the idiot. Newborns are loud and a lot of work. They don't sleep 8 hours at night, so lots of walking around the house at all hours of the night with crying would happen. Comment 3. Not the idiot, she's lucky and should be grateful you let her live there, and it's unreasonable of her to demand you allow her surprise baby too as well. Now, for the update. It's been a brutal month since I last posted about my niece and her pregnancy. I was hopeful things would smooth out, but it's only gotten harder. She's been stressed, and we've been walking on eggshells around each other. Her boyfriend, the supposed rock in this scenario, broke things off with her, claiming he wasn't ready to be a father. Devastated doesn't even begin to cover what she's been through. She's missed shifts at work, which put her new job in jeopardy. The manager's been understanding, but there's only so much leeway they can give. Her performance has dipped, and I'm scared she might lose the job she worked so hard to get. Financially, it's been a nightmare. The car she bought? Turns out, it's a lemon. Repair costs are piling up, and without her boyfriend's support, she barely manages. I've been helping where I can, but I'm stretched thin myself. The worst part came last week. She had a doctor's appointment, and I went with her for support. The doctor had concerns about the baby's health. There might be complications because of her past lifestyle. She's been advised to take it easy, but with everything going on, I don't know how she'll manage. She still doesn't want to move out, and I'm torn to pieces over it. I can't abandon her, especially now, but the reality of a baby in the house is hitting hard. We're trying to find middle ground, looking into outside help, discussing alternate arrangements, but solutions are scarce. I've reached out to family members for support, but everyone's got their own problems. It seems like we're both drowning and there's no lifeboat in sight. I never imagined it would get this complicated, and every day I question if I'm handling any of this right. The guilt is what eats at me during the long nights. I feel responsible for her, yet I'm failing her in so many ways. She's alone, scared, and facing a future that's nothing like what she envisioned. All I wanted was to give her a chance, and now I'm not sure what the future holds for any of us. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear you care deeply about your niece and her situation. Remember, you can support her emotionally without having to take on the full responsibility of a new baby in your home. It's important to set boundaries for your own well-being. Maybe look into local support groups or charities that could offer her additional help. Comment 2. You're the idiot. I get that it's a tough situation, but family is family. Your niece is going through one of the hardest times in her life, and she needs you. It's not about you being comfortable. It's about stepping up and supporting her. You might feel overwhelmed, but imagine how she feels. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You're already doing a lot just by trying to find solutions for your niece. It's not fair for the entire burden to fall on your shoulders. Maybe it's time for a family meeting to discuss how everyone can pitch in. Financial struggles are hard, but they become lighter when the load is shared. Don't let guilt trick you into thinking you're not doing enough. Now, for the next story. I graduated from university in 2022. I moved away for university, so I had to look for a place to stay afterwards. My parents are separated and both houses are full, but my gran offered her place to stay. Background on my gran. She's a little bit crazy. She's crazy rich, has a crazy mind, and does crazy stuff. She's never my first person to go to since she always holds things above you. Once I borrowed $20 for bus money for school, and she hounded me for 3 days until I paid it back early and didn't go to school. She offered one of the rooms for me to stay, and it would be great since the train station isn't far from the city, so it would be great for viewings and interviews. Moving out of university was an extremely stressful time. I had work up until the day before, and packing 3 years' worth of stuff was a lot. When I'm stressed, I get tonsillitis, and on the last day I was so ill I couldn't eat. I had 3 layers on and had the heating on even though it was above 30 degrees C outside. When I got to my gran's, I let her know I'd be like this for a few days, but I just needed rest and to pick up some antibiotics. The first couple of days were okay, though she kept on asking if I wanted to do anything or go anywhere, but I hadn't eaten in days and was so ill. At the end of day 2, she mentioned that she had some weird charges on her card and had contacted the police. On day 3, she came into the room and asked me to pack my bags because she couldn't take care of me, though I only needed water and a change of the sick bucket because I slept all day. She dropped me off at my mum's and I stayed on the sofa. On day 7, I was better but fragile and not eating. I wanted to go back to my gran's for the connections to the station. We had a phone call where I asked if I could come and she said yes. She mentioned the charges again and said they happened online in a city about an hour and a half away from where I went to university. I didn't think anything of it. My mum dropped me off at hers and drove off. When I knocked, she didn't answer. I could hear the dog, but there was no response. I tried calling and texting until she sent me a message saying she knows it was me who did the fraud on her card. I tried to reason that it's impossible because I hadn't seen her in over 3 years and the card would have expired in that time. The city was very far away and I'd never even been there. But nothing worked. I said that if my other grandma was alive, she would never treat me like this. I stayed at a hotel and the stress made me ill again and I couldn't eat. So thankfully, on day 11, I got a place and moved. A year later, speaking with my dad, he said his mum can't believe I'm still not speaking to her and that I should get over it. He admitted that she made up the charges. She just didn't want me staying, even though I asked multiple times. She's old and it has been over a year. Should I just move on from it and keep her at arm's length, or am I right in holding this grudge? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Tell your father that you can't believe your gran thinks she deserves forgiveness after she accused you of being a thief. Comment 2. Please consider getting a tonsillectomy. They suck as an adult, but I went from 5 tonsillitises in a year to none. Comment 3. So can I check I got this right? Not only she falsely accused you, she actually made the whole thing up too. Now for the update. The rift between my grandmother and me seemed unbridgeable. After the accusation, I decided to focus on my own path, got a job, and settled into my new place. Months passed in silence until I received an unexpected letter. It was from my grandmother. The letter was not what I expected. It was an apology. My grandmother explained that she had been struggling with her own health issues and had become overwhelmed and paranoid at the time. She'd been attending therapy and during her sessions came to realize the hurt she'd caused. She missed me and wanted to make amends. Skeptical but touched, I decided to meet her. We arranged a day for me to come over for lunch. Walking up to her door felt like an eternity. When she opened it, there was no grandiose greeting, just a simple, "I've missed you." We sat down, and the conversation started tentatively. She listened as I shared how her actions had affected me, and I listened as she shared her regrets. The turning point came when she asked for forgiveness. It wasn't easy to let go of the hurt, but watching her, genuinely remorseful, something shifted inside me. Forgiveness felt like the right choice, not just for her but for my own peace of mind. We started seeing each other more. She would come to my place and I'd visit her. We found a new routine, a new way to relate to each other. She's become my eccentric yet loving confidant. I've learned about her life, her challenges, and it's brought a depth to our relationship I never knew was missing. The most heartwarming moment came just a few weeks ago. She handed me an envelope. Inside were tickets to Europe. "I was always planning this for your graduation," she said, her eyes gleaming with the mischief I remembered from childhood. "Consider it a new start for both of us." So here we are, planning a trip together. I'm grateful for this second chance, and while the past can't be changed, our future is unwritten. I know not everyone gets these moments of resolution, but I learned that sometimes taking the harder path of forgiveness can lead to the most rewarding destinations. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Life's too short to hold grudges, especially against family. Your grandma made the first move to apologize, which is huge. Not everyone gets the chance to mend fences So kudos to you for having the heart to forgive and move forward. Plus, a trip to Europe, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create new positive memories. Sounds like a win-win to me. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Forgiving is one thing, but just because someone gifts you a trip doesn't mean all is well. It feels like you're being bought off, doesn't it? What happens when the trip is over? Are the issues really resolved? Or is this just a fancy band-aid on a still bleeding wound? Forgiveness should be about emotions, not material things. I'd tread carefully if I were you. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Forgiving your grandmother shows maturity. It's not easy to let go of past hurts, but it sounds like she genuinely regrets her actions and wants to make up for it. It's a brave thing to open your heart again, and it seems like it's leading to a stronger bond between you two. Plus, traveling together can be a bonding experience. Cheers to new beginnings and exploring new places with a loved one. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.